Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, God morning. Hello, get it right with Jesus Glennis. God morning. How are you guys? How is God blessing you? How amazing do you feel today? How grateful are you? Are you deciding today that no matter what, today is the day that the Lord has made? That you are going to rejoice and be glad in it? Are you? Are you the one that's going to put on God's word and allow God's word to be a lamp unto your feet? Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Tay. Good morning, Andrea. Thank you so much for watching. Where are you guys tuning in from? What city? And I know some of you are going to watch this later and it's all good, but what city are you tuning in from? Can you hear me okay? Please let me know. Would love if you can share this video. I think it's going to be important. I really do believe this. So it's just a personal story, right? I have been so incredibly gazelle focused on the goals that God has for me in 2024. I am in a transition. In 23, at the end of 23, my life was going one direction, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it shifted. And I did not know. It's like when someone says, and you're not expecting it, and someone says, hey, I'd like to get a divorce. And it's like, huh? What are you talking about, right? That's not happening. God forbid, that's not happening. Me and my husband are good. I love the man. He's the man of my dreams. And hopefully I'm the woman of his dream. And in his dreams, I say he's not just the man of my dreams, but he's the man in my dreams, in my fantasy. That's him. That's Corey. And I love my husband. But imagine, right? Like you don't see something coming. On the contrary, you think everything is good. And then it just comes and you're like, what just happened? And you're not expecting it, right? Because lives, right? It just does. And when it does, it's not when trials and tribulation come. It's not if they're going to come. You and I just need to be ready. And right along that subject is, I was talking to my best friend last night and I said to her, I said, listen, I'm doing this for the 100-year-old me. I really am. And I would love to give you that insight that God gave me as I was in Boston in my mastermind. I'm doing a lot of different things. I'm transitioning. For the past year, on the 16th of November, the 16th of November is a big day in my life. Not only did I become a Christian, and it's been 33 delicious years. You guys may know me as Glennis, the lady that motivates me and inspires me, and the fitness lady or whatever. I'm not really sure. What do you call me? When you think of me, what do you say? What is it that I bring to the table for you? Please let me know in the comments. Let me know. And I'll share with you some of the things that went on in my mastermind. It was just great. I just thought about that because we had to do an exercise that said, what is the problem that you're having? And one of the problems that I'm having, in case you have my solution, is I want to be able to open assisted living facilities. I want to be able to learn about that and know the sauce of how to do it. And that's the problem I'm having. And the Lord connected me with different people. I have a beautiful soul that has 150 beds in Ohio that we're going to be looking into, and I'm excited about that. They also have, I think, in Arizona, 30 beds. And I'm excited about that because we're going to be doing the numbers. That came about because of a problem I was having. So I came from my mastermind. We meet quarterly. Good morning, David. Good morning, Lucia, and Nilsa, and Sandy. Thank you so much for watching. Where are you watching from? But one of the things that happened right after June, when I came back from my mastermind, I was not expecting it. And my dad, I took him to a doctor's appointment. And then the doctor said, hey, we want this MRI to be done. And then after the MRI, it was like, rush him to the ER. And then it was brain tumor. And then it's cancer. And it's all these things that we were not expecting. And we had to quickly go into action mode, and I wish I would have been ready. And as we were looking, my dad really struggled the first few days. We were doing shifts. My husband, my sister, and myself, we were 24, just like 3 shifts. You know, my husband slept in the hospital, all of it, because he would take off things and he was just not himself. And that happens, right? It was really an experience watching my dad, because after that, you become someone that you're not. And has that ever happened to you? Where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know who the person in the mirror is. I don't know who I've become. And hopefully it's for the good. Like one of the things that I decided today, I was like negotiating with myself. And I said, no, I am going to make this decision for the 100-year-old me. Because the 100-year-old me is going to think, that girl in the mirror looks good. Girl, you look good. And my glutes are not where they're supposed to be. My tie-ins are not where they're supposed to be. My trainer just basically threw her hands up and said, you know, you're going to do what you're going to do. If you just want to get on stage because you got on stage, get on stage. But if you're looking to bring the results that you said in April that you were bringing, you're not going to do that. And at that point, I had to make a decision because I love and trust Indrell. I really do. She's been my trainer, walked with me for 10 years through accidents and trauma hugged and surgery and all of it. And that woman has been there. I started at 50, 2 years into it, had a major accident. I went to go work claims in Key West, and there was a man that tried to commit suicide. He tried to take his life and my life. And it was multiple injuries. I was in a wheelchair. And 2 years ago, I came back. I remember one day, my trainer, I was at LA Fitness, and I was just looking to come back. I wasn't training yet with her, and she looked at me and she just didn't even recognize me. She knew that was me because Corey was there, but you know, I had a brace in my neck. I had put on weight. I looked like I was 20 years older. I was just not myself anymore. And this woman treated me with beautiful white gloves and just helped me to be healed and back into shape and back into confidence and believing in myself. And I hope that you have some of those people in your life. And the way that we actually bring those people into our lives is by being those people to someone else. When I could not do many things, I was here on social. I was doing the thing. I was bringing value. I was encouraging right from my bed in a wheelchair. So you can be that. And as you are that, you sow that into yourself because you're becoming that. But one of the things I had to decide is, wait, I am not in the best. I'm not going to bring the best package as far as my glutes and my tie-ins and how my skin is going to be tight and all these things that I spoke to another competitor a few days ago, and I told her, I wish I had the ability to just put you on video, but she's not that kind of a person, and it just was not right. But I said, you look amazing. And she's like, I'm just not ready. That's why I didn't compete. And I said, oh my God, do people tell you you look amazing? Yeah. She goes, but I still feel like I need to do 100 more squats and curtsies. And I said, I get it. I understand. People tell me, hey, Glennis, I just came back from my mastermind, and there were, it was a room of, close to 500 people with staff and everything else. And so many people complimented me and encouraged me and said, oh my gosh, I want to look like you and this and that. And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm supposed to compete on the 16th of November. And so going back, I swear I'm ADHD. Going back to November 16th, that's my salvation day. I was a Hope to Die drug addict that said a simple prayer, asked Jesus into her heart, and my life changed forever on that day. But then that day was also the day that a partnership ended. I was sat down without expecting it and was told it's over. And I was not expecting it. So it's a big day for me, November 16th, and I wanted to compete that day. And because I was at my mastermind, I was in Boston, and I was not training, I was not doing the things you're supposed to be doing when you're 2 weeks out, I was going to compete on the 16th. My trainer said, just don't worry about it. When you go on a plane, you hold water and all these things. And I just came back on Monday night. I actually got to bed at 1 a.m. And then yesterday was not a restful day. It was a beautiful day. I take care of our granddaughter, and she's 6 months, and she's delicious, and it's the best thing that I get to do. It's a blessing. But there was no rest yesterday, right? And I still had to push through and do the things, went to sleep late. My trainer said, hey, can you be at the gym at 5? Usually on Wednesdays, I'm there at 7:30. And it's like, sure. I should have just set a boundary and said, no, I need to rest. But I didn't. And I'm happy I didn't. I'm happy that I was there, because I got to train with Shay, who's an attorney, and she's the one that said to me, Glennis, your muscles, they're muscling. And Joe, my trainer, said, is that a word? And I thought about it for a second. When you have to think about things for a second, and I hope you do. I hope you don't make decisions where you're not prepared to make that decision, and you think about things. Leaders make quick decisions. Don't get that mixed up, okay? We don't sit and try to, consult everyone. But leaders do take a lot of time before the decision comes to be very clear in what it is that they're looking to do. Carmencita, where are you coming in from? Let me know what city. Cyprian, Divina, good morning. Thank you for watching. Romes. I take a lot of time in prayer and meditating so that to define my goals, to define what it is that I'm looking to get, I consult with God. He's my business partner. I also consult with my husband, and I have a very small group of people, very small, that I actually run things by. And I covet their wisdom. And when a decision comes, I'm clear because I already know what my goal is. And sometimes I make mistakes, but there is something within me. There is a gut feeling that tells me, don't go that way. And sometimes I don't listen. But most of the times I'm able to make a quick decision on something because I already made that clarity. So Shay said to me, an attorney that that trains at 5 o'clock and with Indrel, with my trainer, and she says to me, your muscles are muscling. And in that moment, I said, well, if it's not a word, it's going to become a word right now. And I had a wake-up moment at that moment, and I said, that's right. My muscles are muscling, and I'm going to compete on the 9th. There's 2 reasons why I want to compete on the 9th. Am I ready? No. Am I bringing the best package that I possibly can bring with the time and the dedication towards that one goal that I gave it? Yes, I am. But the most important reason is because of the 100-year-old Glynis. She's going to look at me. I told my best friend last night as we were talking, I said, you know, she's going to look at me and she's going to say, good job, you did the thing. And as a matter of fact, girl, you look really good at 60. And you look even better at 100. I want her to be proud of me. I want her to know that I did the thing. I did the thing for her. I did the thing for myself, for the 60-year-old me. But I also did the thing for my children and my grandchildren. It's very important. My kids, they know my goals for 2024. And that is one of my goals. One of my goals was to compete before I turned 60. That was the goal. And I turned 60 on the 13th of November. The only show before that is the Ruby. And and this is the second reason why I want to do that show, is because I am extremely committed to the Ruby. It was my first show. I love Andres. I love that community. And yes, I'm going to be judged by the same judges that told me, Glynis, get on stage when your glutes look the part, when your tie-ins are looking good. That's the part, because my upper body looks good. And it's not, I'm not, you know, poniéndome cremas a mis tacos. I'm not just saying that. People that know, they say that, right? You can see that. You know, from here up, my body looks really good. From here down, my, you know, my legs, I'm trying to think of the right name. I can't even think of the right name. You guys think I'm a competitor like that knows all these things. It was so funny earlier. I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I don't know the names. And hey, this thing back here, whatever that is, am I doing that right? And that's me. I don't know all these things. I just show up, and that's why I have a trainer. But I'm trying to think, when your legs are popping, that's what my trainer says. I don't know. Whatever it is, my legs look good from the front, really good, but from the back, I don't look as good, and I'm okay with that. I'm 59 years young. I don't see a lot of my friends that are 59 years young, even 40 years young, or 30 years young, or 20 years young, getting up on stage, half naked. I don't see them. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the thing, and I'm proud that I'm showing up for me and doing the thing. And hopefully I'm doing it for my children, for my grandchildren, the generation to come, and hopefully for humanity, right? Today, right, is the day after election. For many years, as sad as that is, but for many years, I did not vote. I didn't. I just didn't. It was like, whatever, who cares? And then all of a sudden, it's like, no, we do the right thing. We need to allow our voices to be heard. No matter what happens, who wins, doesn't win. It doesn't, I'm serious, it doesn't change anything in my household. Jesus is still Lord over my house. I still got to get up and do the thing. I don't rely on government or anyone else to take care of me and my family. I just don't. I have this, maybe it's not so good to have all this masculine energy that I have. I do have feminine energy, and I'm embracing that more and more. But it's like that side of me, it takes time to work, right, on that side. I was a single mom for many years. I have 4 beautiful children. And not only them, but I made myself responsible for a lot of other people that counted on me. There was a time where we had 13 people living with us. I was a single mom. I said, come on down. God and us, we're going to be just fine. And I ran that home like if it was a woman's home. And, I learned to pray. I learned to be a mom from a lot of those women with their children that were living there. And they're still very close friends to me many years later. But I still need to work on the feminine side and allowing others to actually open the door. I was so tired when I came back from Boston, and I felt such guilt. So my husband put all my luggages in the car, opened the door, and I was like setting up my phone and putting it in the charger. And he closed the door for me, and that felt so good. That felt so good. I was like, thank you, honey. Because I don't usually allow a man to do all those girly things for me. It's like, I got it. Our youngest daughter, she used to say from 2 years old, just, it used to break my heart, and it still breaks my heart today. She used to say, I got it. Hey, honey, it's time for a bath. I got it, she would say. This is what you're gonna wear. I got it. Okay, let's get your clothes. I got it. This little girl, it was like, Mom, and then I got it. Right? And that's how I am, unfortunately. I got it. That's not so good, It's good when you're looking to finish your goals and do the thing and this and that. But also it is good to allow a man to be a man and not cripple that man into something else, right? Just allowing him to step into his manhood. And I need to work on that. I know that. But anyway, going back to the 100-year-old me, I just want to be proud of her. And one of the decisions that I've made to make her proud is to say, I have integrity with myself. I have integrity with myself. I said I'm going to do this. I did it. I did it. I want that for me. I want that for you. I want to be able to show up, and for you guys to look at my pictures on Saturday as I'm posting about being in this Ruby competition and doing it scared and doing it with my legs shaking as trying to think of her name. I can't even think of her name. Beautiful soul. She's definitely one of my mentors. And you just got to show up. No matter what, just show up. Because that 100-year-old you is going to wish you did. Show up for you. Show up for your kids, for your grandkids, the generation to come, and for all of us. There's some things that, and it's not that it is too late, right? But I was sharing with my best friend. I moved to California at 21 because I wanted to be a theater arts major. That's what I wanted to do. I never pursued it. And I still wonder, right? I still wonder. What if I would have done it? You just never know. What if? But I didn't do it. I didn't pursue it. And it's not that it's too late. It's never too late. And it's never too soon. That's what I say to young people. It's just not too soon. We have Kelsey. Kelsey, if you're watching this, I love you. But Kelsey, my daughter's best friend, they just bought a business for children, and It's teaching children how to become entrepreneurs. And I'm so excited. I'm going to buy it for my grandkids. And my oldest grandson is 10. It's never too soon. It's never too soon. We cannot depend on the government. We cannot depend on other people or Social Security or this or that. I believe God wants us to be entrepreneurs. I believe that at the end of the day, God wants us to use our God-given gifts to be able to take care of our family and take care of others. I tell my children, you cannot think of your little, not that your family is little and small, but you cannot focus on your circle. I never saw myself as Glennis, the single mom with 4 kids. I saw myself as Glennis, the entrepreneur that had 23 employees with a payroll of over $50,000 a month that needed to bring the results. And because I knew that, I was not just thinking about what I needed and what my children needed. I was thinking about these 23 people, and the average, one family means 4 people in the household, right? So I was thinking of close to 100 people. When you think of, good morning, when you think of 100 people that you're taking care of, that looks very different than 5 or 6, right? Totally different. You show up totally different to businesses, to meetings, to church, to your workout, to your marriage, to your everything, because you're thinking of all these people that you care for and you're responsible for. When I go to work, I think of a single mom that we are paying her attorney bills because the father is looking to take their child. And every month when we write that check, because right now is in a, and I can't go into it, but it's expensive. It's expensive to pay that bill. But we're doing it because I believe in that. When I think of people in recovery, people that, when I think of yearly, I'm going to write a check to that ministry, I think of the old Glennis that was on drugs and needed help and needed someone to show up for her. When I think of writing a check for the homeless, I think, you know, if it was not by the grace of God, I could have been homeless many days. And I think of all those people. And when I don't want to show up, I think of them. And definitely I think of my children. I think of my grandchildren. And I think of the generation to come. I think when we're limited and we're thinking about today, right here, right now, the 60-year-old me, that's the problem. That's the biggest hindrance. I want to look back and I want to say, girl, we did that thing. How about you? Do you want to fully show up for yourself? Because you can't have it both ways. You really can. I am, again, I am at the city. I'm at the city. I hired a contractor. I hired an architect. The last time I was here in the city in West Palm, he literally got upset because I put him on speaker with the plan reviewer. And he said, you know, that's what you hired me for. And I said, I know. I know that's why I hired you for. But I'm here because I need to make sure that these plans get approved soon, because it's been over a month. And I'm paying $5,400 a month for a triplex that's sitting empty. And I've been doing that since June. So, and then I paid all those tenants about $25,000 to move them out. They were paying me rent And I knew that it was going to take time to do plans and time to get them approved. I could have collected another $20,000 at least. I don't know how long I'm going to be here in this process, but it was the right thing to pay them to move. Why was it right? Because that property does not have right electrical. And there are children in this property. And I can't think of making $20,000. I have to think. I remember a guy that I was in business with just a short time, Jim, Lance Construction. And he said to me, he was in his 70s, and he said to me, Glennis, you don't have a problem until you have a problem. And I play that in my head a lot of times because I could have thought of collecting the rents. It was a triplex, and then the garage, there was also a tenant, but there were electrical issues. We're doing a full renovation, but the major thing is the electrical. The electrical is from 100 years ago, and it was a hazard. And I have to think of those families being in danger. And I also have to think of a problem, a liability problem. So I'm here looking to make the right decision, but I will continue to do the natural so that God can do the supernatural. I'm going to look at that girl at 100, and I'm going to be really proud of her, because today at 60, well, in a few days I'll be 60, she's making the right decisions for the 60-year-old and the 100-year-old her. Hope that helps you and blesses you. Have a good one. Take care. Make it a great day, regardless of who's in office. Let's go.